Guys, I honestly, I don't even know where to start with this video, so we'll just start as usual. So guys, Jonathan here. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that everything is good with you, with your life in general. And as you can see from my surroundings, from the, I don't think that you can see that much of it, but there's like a Buddha picture here hanging on the wall. I didn't choose it, but it's there, so it's there. I'm growing my mustache, if you didn't notice as well. A lot of changes in this video. And yeah, basically the biggest change, the biggest thing that is different is that yeah, I'm in a new place. I found a house finally. I told you in some of the last videos that I was searching for a house, and yes, I found a house. I can say that I found a house, and I had to move. In general, you have to move when you find a new house, but I had to move away from Lisbon. As you can see from the title, I'm leaving Lisbon, or at this point, even better, I already left Lisbon. And don't worry guys, before the end of the video, we'll tell you the name of the place in which I'm based right now. And this happened after a very long year, and yeah, I think that I can say that basically 2022 is probably the worst year for me. Yeah, talking about different aspects. And before going on with the reasons why I moved away from Lisbon and what happened in the last month, basically in the start of 2023, I think that it's good for me, for my mental health, and also for you, because this is a sort of life update. And usually in my videos here on YouTube I don't talk that much about my actual life. I talk more about photography, videography and the usual stuff, but guys, you already know. And not because I don't want to talk about my life and what happens to me in general, my friends, my people, my girlfriend, but more because I think that for you it's I don't know, more interesting probably hearing about photography. Hear me talking about photography and my experiences related to photography. Because I don't think that my life is that interesting, and that's another issue, by the way. So apart from this, 2022, as I said, has been my probably the worst year, at least comparing it to the last years in January. And what happened basically in January, you know, right after the start of the year, me and Claudia got COVID, and it's normal. A lot of people got COVID in that period, and in general in the last years, because I mean, we know. But for me, and this is for everyone who still think that COVID is an influenza, is something stupid like that. I mean, we stayed in bed for like 3 weeks. I felt completely powerless, completely drained. I don't know. I didn't even have the energy to go around the house because I wasn't allowed to go outside. As usual, it's normal. You stay in quarantine because you have COVID. It's normal. And basically this changed a bit our plans, because we were supposed to go in Italy in January, and I tried to call from inside my house and inside my old house on the ground floor. I didn't even have a phone network, so it was pretty difficult also to use the phone, and it was a bit of an issue because I tried to change the flights, to contact the airline, blah blah, this kind of stuff, and it's been a bit tough. I didn't manage to do it with my phone basically. So the first time I went outside, because I got outside COVID, I went to the airport and I stayed in line for like 3 hours and a half, not joking guys. Of course standing, because there were no seats there. So this was my first memory after 3 weeks in bed with COVID. And during these 3 weeks I also worked, because I mean, I still had the energy to work on the laptop, that kind of stuff. But for example, if I had to go to work to the office, I would have just stayed at home, and that's one of the perks of working from home. In my opinion, I worked with COVID, so this says something, at least for me. Then fast forward to February, me and Claudia finally managed to go to Italy, and we had a good time, because I mean, that period we were a bit stressed, we were a bit anxious, and so we had a very good time while in Italy. I really enjoyed staying with my family, with my mother and my brother especially, and Claudia as well. So what happened? Basically, as soon as we got back to Lisbon, we had a sort of mental breakdown because, I mean, we were getting tired of living in an apartment with a lot of issues with insects. We had issues with cockroaches as well. We only had one window in the whole apartment, so it was, I mean, it was all the day dark. And it was even difficult to distinguish day from night. I mean, it was affecting a bit, I can say, our mental health. So when we got back from Italy, where I mean, in Italy we were staying with our families in, I mean, bigger houses with daylight, and yeah, in a different situation in general. When we got back, we got this sort of mental breakdown, and it took us like a week at least to recover. So this was February. And yeah, in the end, the rest was pretty normal until May. In May, they told me in my old job, because I changed my job in the end of this year, in the end of 2022. When I was working for Accenture, they told me in May that we were meant to go back to the office, and basically we had to go back to the office in mid-July. So I spent the months between May and July trying to find another job, because I wanted to stay at home, not because I enjoyed staying in that place, in that house, because still we were searching for another place, and this information will be useful later. But in general, I didn't want to go to the office because I didn't want to waste time. I was already starting to think that in general I was giving away a huge portion of my time, not because I'm special, because I know that everyone who has to work, everyone needs to work, gives away 8 or 9 hours per day, but for me it was more than enough giving that time away, let's say, throwing away that time and not wasting other time to commute, to go back and forth from the office. So I was searching for another job. In a couple of months I didn't find anything with the same salary, or even lowering the salary, with the possibility to work from home and having I don't know, a Monday to Friday, normal hours, not working night shifts or during weekends. I mean, I was not asking for the moon, in my opinion, but still didn't find anything. So in July was good. The first days of July, because it was my birthday and my brother Simon came to visit me and Claudia. He stayed at our place a week. We managed to do some things together. We explored some places around Lisbon. We went to the Nosh festival together. We saw the Strokes live. It was good in general. This to say that 2022 was not like completely wrong as a year, but the bad side was way bigger than the good side of things that happened. So yeah, the first days were good. Then my brother left, and in mid-July I started to go back to the office. The problem with the office is that it was in a place that is a bit far from Lisbon. So I basically wasted 1 hour to go in the morning, and 1 hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the traffic, to come back from my workplace to my house. So I was wasting 2 hours and a half / 3 hours per day commuting. And if you count, and if you add these hours to the normal hours that are 8 plus 1 hour of lunch, 9 plus it comes out that I was wasting basically 11 hours to 12 hours per day. Sorry guys, probably the framing changed a bit because my battery was running low, and I know that I have to buy a dummy battery, and I will buy it as soon as possible, for sure. So I was saying that I was losing a lot of time during the day to commute, to work and blah blah. And yeah, so this was basically what I did from mid-July to mid-December, because I left my job in mid-December before going back to Italy for the Christmas holidays. So what did I do during the summer? In August I went back to Italy, and I spent there the anniversary with Claudia, the 10 years anniversary, and it was a good time. We went to the Lake Garda. Yeah, it was cool in general. It was a good experience. We went to the place where we got together, where I asked her like 10 years ago to become my girlfriend. Then in September we went to the Azores, and it's been great. I mean, I spent 1 week there with Claudia. We rented a car. We were going around the island, and but there are some videos talking about my holidays in Italy and my holidays in the Azores as well, so I don't want to repeat myself on this, but I just want to say that the Azores are probably the best place I've ever seen, the most beautiful place in the world, at least from my experience. It's been absolutely amazing, great, guys, totally recommended. So it was all good in that moment. Apart from the fact that, and I don't want to go too much into details on this because it's like personal stuff, but in general, what happened is that in that moment, in August, after 1 month going to the office, we had some issues in the office because the air conditioning was always very strong, and a lot of people got sick while at the office, so I got sick as well several times, and adding this to the hours that I was wasting, to the fact that I was not sleeping a lot, and all this kind of stuff. And of course I didn't have a lot of time to dedicate to this YouTube channel, to my photography, to all the things that are actually important for me. Adding to all of this stuff, Claudia started to have issues with her own job, and yeah, I won't go into details on this, but it was not her fault, let's say it like this. It was some management choice that made everyone's life very hard. So in those months she was searching for a new job as well. I was considering the idea of finding another job because I was getting very tired. I felt like I was losing most of my time, and I mean, when you wake up and you're like every morning asking yourself why you woke up, what you're doing with your life, and all this kind of stuff, it's not a good signal in my opinion. So yeah, we were in that situation, and then in September, as soon as we got back from the Azores, I went to the I had to go to the hospital basically 1 day after I got back from the Azores, because I had a terrible headache coming back by plane, and I didn't manage to sleep. I lost some days at work because I felt this very, very hard headache, and I didn't know what to do. Basically, I took every kind of medicine that I found, but it was not enough. And so I had to go to the hospital, and yeah, nothing. Luckily I discovered that it wasn't anything except for like a strong sinusitis. Before COVID I didn't experience sinusitis a lot, and after COVID, during the last year, in several moments of the year, I had this like very heavy headache. I always felt like the nose was closed, and some difficulties to breathe also because of the nose and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I just discovered that it was not something temporary, but it was something that was becoming, don't want to say my daily routine, but still during the last year I've had this kind of sinusitis for most of the time. And also now, for example, I mean, even if I keep it open, even if I wash, you know, with a little pump to clean the nose and all this kind of stuff, I always feel like this. So, this is just to talk about my sinusitis, that, I mean, comparing it to serious diseases and kind of stuff, it's nothing, it's normal, like 99% of the people have it. But for me, I mean, it's something that I didn't have before, and that I'm dealing with, and I've been dealing with in the last year. So I was in the hospital, and as soon as I got home, my landlords sent me a message saying that I had to leave my house. in February, because the contract was supposed to end in June, but they decided that in February they wanted to start some renovations. So yeah, I found myself in this situation. I wanted to change my job. I was obliged to find another place. Not that I really liked the place I was staying, but still it wasn't like something to worry about, and it became something to worry about. Because basically I didn't, luckily Claudia was working from home, even if she kept having issues with her job and stuff like this, so she was able to search for a new place while I was working every day in the office. And the thing is that the housing market in Lisbon, but maybe in the rest of the world as well, but my experience is this in Lisbon, is completely up, completely, and in 5 months we managed to see, I don't know, 5 houses, something like that, maybe 4, maybe 6, something around that number. And because a lot of people were not even answering, a lot of people were asking for like absurd conditions, for a lot of deposits, warranties, all the stuff that you can imagine, all the worst stuff that you can imagine. So yeah, it was kind of a nightmare. And now I'm laughing, but I don't even know why. I don't know. So we spent these months like this. We were getting every day more anxious, more stressed, more depressed. I mean, it was a combination of a lot of stuff all together. And then I received a job offer from another company. That is a company I'm working for at the moment, and that is called Connectis. And it was always for I mean, they were searching for a quality analyst. That was the position that I got in my last job at Accenture. And my last day in Accenture was in mid-December. Then I went to Italy for Christmas holidays. That at least they were good, the holidays in general. It was a good time, and finally spending Christmas at home with families was good for us. I'm not gonna lie. But the thing is that when we got back to Lisbon, it was the day before New Year's Eve. Yeah, we still hadn't found a place to stay, a house, and we just had 1 month before going back to Italy, or staying in Lisbon, or moving to another place, because there were like 3 options. And now I'm getting to finally where I'm staying now. So I was saying that we spent all the month basically searching for a new place, a new apartment, and we didn't find anything until the 22nd of January. That is the day in which we signed the contract for this place, this apartment. And I mean, the 22nd of January, in 1 week after the 22nd, of course, we were supposed to leave our place. So if we didn't find this place in this exact moment, I would have been in Italy. But again, as I said in the beginning of the video, I had to leave Lisbon. So right now I'm not living in Lisbon anymore. And now you may be wondering, you left Portugal, you left Europe, I don't know. No, actually I didn't leave Portugal, because now I'm living in Costa de Caparica. That is, I mean, guys, if you are from Lisbon or from Portugal in general, you know that Costa de Caparica is just is actually very close to Lisbon. Luckily in this place I'm not living anymore in a ground floor, thank God. I'm living in a normal building. I'm at the 8th floor, so it's good. I have a good view. There's the sea that is close to here, because I mean, Costa de Caparica is basically a city on the costa. In English means shore, and yeah, it's in front of the ocean. So it's cool. And yes, what can I say? After all this recap, after all this story, now it's a good moment, I think, in my life. I feel less stressed, less anxious, finally, after all this year with all these issues. The rest of the things, all normal. I'm still trying to... I have a lot, guys, talking about YouTube, finally I have a lot of ideas for new contents, for new videos, really a lot of stuff that I want to shoot. guys, believe me, if I manage to find some time to shoot new stuff, to edit new stuff in general, you will see a ton of new videos here on this channel. And I mean, it's something that is really, really important to me in general, so I will try to put as much as I can of myself into this YouTube channel during this year. I don't have other things to add, so just to conclude this video, thank you so much to everyone who has been following this channel lately and in the last years in general. I'm seeing it grow very slowly, but it's growing. So yeah, I hope that this year will be the right year, the year in which we'll see some like bigger improvements in terms of numbers, in terms of collaborations. You already seen the collaboration with Dehancer. I want to do more, of course, and yeah, I feel kinda positive. That's all for a better year, comparing it to 2022. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and sorry if it was long, because I think that it's a long video, but still, I mean, wanted to talk a bit about personal stuff, because I mean, to create this sort of community is something that I really believe in. And yeah, so thank you again for watching this video, and see you here on the channel in the next videos, and bye, take care, guys, see you later.